This episode of The General's Gentleman is sponsored by Ashes of the Singularity. Take control of epic battles in a massive scale RTS where you control thousands of units. With up to 14 players per game, it's the biggest RTS to date.
Welcome to The General's Gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Command & Conquer 0 Hour. Today we are in 1.6 and we have a very new exciting map.
We do indeed, and yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you did read it right at the start of the game. It's created by Relax. How hype is that?
Yeah, it was a little bit funny. We had the replay pause. It was like created by Reela. Like, who's Reela? Oh, Relax. Okay, cool. So today we have a matchup from the 1.06 tournament. We are just casting this one replay because it looked like it was going to be a nice match where the other replays were a bit short and generally didn't look that interesting. So these players, I don't think they're Smurfs. I think these are just not completely well-known players. But today, anyway, it's going to be CL as our China tank.
He's going to be playing off against Rawr. Rawr, really Kia Dino. Going to be spawning in as our China.
Is Inf?
Inf?
Yeah.
It is Inf, right. I was gonna guess Inf because of the build order, but.
Oh, yeah. Is that how next level you are, Blake?
It's pretty next level, man. You want that? You want that War Factory barracks, man? Which other China goes to that War Factory?
I feel
barracks?
like we should actually just pause a while and show the map just quickly. So you have two suppliers, pretty spread out. So they're like TD in a sense, but it's a very open middle. It's a very open, unlike TD. You have middle supplies. You've got a tech repair bay here. And on the side, you have two supplies. And actually a lot of tech buildings as well. So do expect to see some fighting around the right side of the map in particular, but over-investing in that right side will leave your flank vulnerable. And actually we see CL has neglected his corner supplies entirely.
And I was thinking this might happen, that we see players investing more towards going that right-hand side forward supply, which obviously doesn't have as many supplies there, and then they go for the tech buildings as well, so an early capture upgrade, which I'm guessing is what we see coming out from CI, early capture upgrade to get those oil derricks. And indeed, the very first of the Red Guard is marching his way to try and get that $1,000 bonus from Rawr's oil.
That's 4 oils. That's going to be insane if you can actually get it. Let's see if Rawr can defend this one. He's actually going for outposts. And look at this defense from CL. It's got a bunker. Actually, it's empty, but he can just take the tank hunters out of that outpost.
Just fight this one out as well. We're at 1.6. There aren't 17 tank hunters inside of the China outpost.
Now, that was a great response from Rawr. Because what you want to do... Oh, look at this. Outpost is snuck through. CL getting punished for his over-commitment to the economy.
Dozy gets sniped as well as 2 supply trucks here. Certainly was nice kiting there from Rawr. Good outpost play. The oil derricks, however, have been captured. 2 in the middle here. 1 on the right-hand side. So if CI can hang on to this game, he's going to be in a fantastic position.
Yeah, is it CI or like CL? Hard to say.
Who knows?
Either way, the outpost does take the Dragon Tank down. Dragon Tanks are good at buying time. They have a lot of rocket resistance. So you can get about 30 seconds of kiting if you have it in position. Try and take out the supply center. He won't be able to get it though with that Dragon Tank nearby. Oh, the TNT though. Nice.
Good play delaying with the tank hunters. Probably not going to be enough to take out the supply though, unless the outpost can kite along the top of this cliff on the left-hand side of the... Oh, no, Dragon Tank can't fire up cliffs.
See, if this was 1.4, that actually probably would have died.
Yeah.
Because there's 10%, or maybe it's 20% less rocket damage versus buildings. Because rocket infantry inside of garrisons, whether it's Humvees, Helixes, or battle buses, control the game too much. While the Dragon Tank left this supply undefended, he may lose this. Even if he trades the outpost, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very nicely microed there by Rawr. The evac isn't really going to matter here, but another outpost gets cracked, and behind this, Rawr's going for a hell of a lot of outposts, and they're currently steamrolling their way towards CI's base.
Yeah, that was definitely a blunder, leaving that exposed. And what I love from Rawr is he actually has this scout post here, and that scout post actually does have a couple of tank hunters inside of it, so you can use that to snipe a dozer. if a dozer goes over to build the supply. But I'm sure CL realizes what's up. He's actually going for the command center. Maybe that'll force the cancel.
Certainly possible. Taking a hell of a lot of damage here. Dozer's actually getting pulled away from the command center. It is going to be cancelled here, Machine.
Nice.
Not a lot of room for these outposts to move. This is quite cool. There's actually rocks behind that supply that's going to limit mobility.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
that's quite cool.
Yeah, it's like this map is open enough. But just so much infantry here. He's going to need a lot more than what he has. MiGs would be very useful for him. He's going for some Gatling tanks, but Gatlings aren't too good versus outposts. But look at this. Already has the chain gun upgrade.
Nice. Have the cash to invest, Machine. All those oil derricks are still up and running here for ZL. I doubt he can spend the amount of cash that he has running at the moment.
So I think the chain gun upgrade is a very interesting idea because implementation, because it's not a very complex upgrade, but the thing is because it takes up war factory production, it's a very difficult decision. But look at this, the tanker hunter's core out of position, there's no outpost to absorb the shells, and they get murdered by this gat spam.
Absolutely demolished, Machine, getting hunted down. This last outpost gets a mad kiting off, however, and cleans up 3 of the gats. Prevent the counterattack at least for a little bit of time here, but unless we see some of these oil derricks start being taken down, so we'll just steamroll his way ahead in this game. Lotus out from him now.
Yeah,
Super
finally
Lotus.
has that Lotus. He needed that Lotus a long time ago to start capping these oils. Looks like there's actually a bit of resource floating for Rawr. We see him currently at 5,000, which is not very good given that he actually doesn't have that much economy. All he has is his 2 base supplies. But he's got a Helix. Well, good luck.
Have fun. Can't say it's the perfect counter to Gatlings with a chain gun upgrade, but...
Oh, look at this. Oh, beautiful.
3 war factory production. He knows exactly... it works as well. So he has so much economy that he needs to match it in terms of his production, and he's certainly done that.
Yeah, that's the way you got to play 0 Hour, is if you do have a lot of economy, which doesn't happen that often and not early on. But if you do, you have to produce on multiple factories or whatever you're producing from. So yeah, he captured this reinforcement pad, so I think he wants to snipe the supply by dropping an outpost, and now we're finally going to see these oils capped away.
Assault troop crawler.
Assault troop crawler, okay, that's generally stronger, but not...
I'm pretty sure it is in 1.6.
I don't know.
It's got changed. We'll have to see.
I doubt it. But not as good versus buildings, but he doesn't have the cap upgrade, so he can't cap the supply either.
Dozer's going to be sniped down. Really that important with both our players having the CCs, and I can't believe another supply gets thrown down here for CI as well.
This is just so weird that Rawr neglected his oil in the corner, and now he's going to get taken out. And he's only going to get the supply drop zone in the process, the reinforcement pad. So that was actually a pretty bad Lotus. Let's be honest, Blake. I mean... When we see a bad Lotus, we gotta call it out.
Yeah.
We can't...
You gotta let them know that it's a bad Lotus.
Yeah.
Look how fast the Helix takes damage. That was actually quite a good evac though, realizing the Helix was probably gonna go down, and now just filling up this outpost that's been here for the last 15 years. So,
yeah, he's making use of that. I love that. Either way, this is a lot of Gatlings, but the thing is outposts are really good versus Gatlings, even with the chain gun. Doesn't have ECMs mixed in either, so he's just trying to out macro his way through this, but let's see how it goes.
They're all spun up, Machine. The fire rate is insane. The outposts need to start kiting, which they have, but it's been at the cost of several of them. They were pretty full. And a very cost-efficient trade here for CI.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Just Gatlings. He needs something else, whether it's his own outpost, whether it's MiGs, whether it's, I was gonna say Inferno cannons, but his tank, so that's not an option. Just infantry on the ground. He needs something else. He can't rely on just that. His outpost waiting for his moment.
Swoop in, get some damage done. Finally, the oil derricks are going to be sniped here. I certainly agree, Machine. We could have seen safer Super Lotus caps there. She could have made her way up the right-hand side, capped up the oil derricks, and got a lot of additional economy here for CI.
He's left this one, so perhaps he wants to recap it with a Lotus.
Would make sense. It's a fairly safe oil derrick. You would think he'd be able to defend it with his outpost. Yeah, sneaky outpost finally finds his moment as well, denies the supply on the left-hand side. How are we looking for resource points? More gats?
Yeah. It can work if you have enough, but it doesn't scale very well.
No.
Especially because it's not just the fact that Gatlings themselves aren't as strong, but Gatlings don't have that much range. And so it means when you have those massive blobs, you'll only have a third or a quarter, depending on the formation of the Gats actually firing at any given time. Whereas outposts, they have more range, so they're more able to scale better in those big engagements. Yeah. And the thing is Gats aren't quads. Quads are much better versus vehicles and buildings. The way their damage works is different to Gats. So...
Still surprised we don't have a MiG transition coming in here for CI. MiGs are just... There's not really a stage in the game where MiGs are bad against China infantry.
Yeah, even just...
There are ECM out on the field, but...
Emperor Overlords. Okay, he's trying to flank here, but this is a small army, but look how much damage it's doing. You just can't engage that out in the open. Yeah. He's trying to flank in, though, and this may work.
He's probably going to catch it off, but are the Gats even going to win this engagement? I'm not sure, Machine.
Look how much cash we have floated up, though, from Rawr. 10k, and he actually spent a few as well, so I think this game could be over just because of a lack of macro.
Nice mine drop coming in, gets a few of those Gats cleaned up. Macro is indeed important. See, I could just about close out this game with the macro that he's been throwing down, even if he's only using one key on his keyboard. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's just playing this game with like a macro mouse, and he only has a hotkey for War Factory Gatling or something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's all you really need, right?
Yeah.
Missile Defender, Humvee. I got 2 mouse buttons. A carpet bomb. Well, was shot down as you would expect with so many Gatlings.
Makes life a bit difficult.
Rawr's still floating.
He's trying to push out. It's going to be hard for him to take a heads-up engagement and actually force his way to CI's army.
Did he
only just get the propaganda? He did. He did, Machine.
Yeah, wow, very, very late. Prop center. 12 minutes is the timer here for the prop center.
General, our base is under attack.
Unit lost.
Yeah, that is late and a half.
All right, here we go. The Zerg swarm of Gatling tanks. Still, the story repeats itself.
Every time I see this many bullet-based vehicles, I have flashbacks to that 2v1 versus Rage, man.
Yeah.
Every time. So the distinct lack of minigun is actually mixed in here for Rawr, but it's not going to matter against the composition coming in from CI, which is purely Gats.
A Dragon tank having snuck through as well, so that was a nice little bait with his Gats to try and draw the outpost out of position.
Yeah.
A little bit late with the firewall. You look at the airfield, but not too important. Actually, maybe the prop center, if the Gatlings can buy enough time.
We're going to force engagements here if CI can get in the right position.
He just needs to ECM the Dragon tank.
Yeah.
There aren't any rockets to deflect. Oh, well, there are now.
Trying to catch out the army Machine. He's going in for it.
Another flank as well on the side. Dragon tank's still there.
Very nice kiting coming in from Rawr. He's trading incredibly cost efficiently. And now CI's army is actually the one caught out in this fantastic pincer maneuver.
Yeah, this is a weird flank we have going on. Dragon tank snuck through again.
We're going for the War Factory this time.
Yep, that was a nice ECM disable. The prop center survives.
Dragon tank still being micro, but we're only going to get the War Factory here and not much else.
No more supplies.
I think there's a few more Gats ready to go, Machine. So.
Yeah. Ready to take their place. So this supply hasn't even been mined at all. Body strike probably on these supplies.
That makes sense. Nice arty strike. In the barracks
Oh,
there.
that's a nice one though.
It's a beautiful carpet bomb machine.
See, I think that may have been lucky timing because he actually went for the
supply.
Yeah, that being said, it wasn't. Look where it was placed because it actually missed the supply, so perhaps it wasn't on the supply directly. But either way, this is an opportunity for Rawr to push out and close the game because he took out a lot of his Gats and he still has a decent army of outposts. Just getting this CC now, and Rawr, he's still floating so much.
16k worth of float here. Should just be on non-stop production. Need some more production structures. He dropped the war factory in that last engagement, so really needs to get that one back up and running, which he hasn't done.
Alright, too many outposts for Rawr.
ECM mix is nice as well. Getting a few shutdowns of the Gats, laying the outpost to close in. We finally see a heads-up engagement. The kite's actually going to start here from Rawr. Missile upon missile. CI has a nice unit composition, a decent amount of ECMs with those Gats. They'll be deflecting a lot of the rockets.
This is a beautiful sight. I also just love how they're all set facing downwards, the same angle. Makes it easy to reinforce at a time. Because you don't want to have them, you know, different parts of your base facing different angles, because it means that you're gonna be sending in units one at a time. You don't have that natural grouping. On the other hand, though, you are vulnerable here to a super weapon or to even just general's powers.
Supply gets taken out here. Not a lot of buildings left here for Rawr.
Yeah, he's running out, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Things have snuck through. He's starting to get his production back up and running, but still a 19k float now. Just a real distinct lack of just. This is the point where you go for a 3-dozer build machine.
Oh yeah, for
3-dozer
sure.
build. I'll have 3 war factories, please. Can I have a hell of a lot of outposts?
You gotta prioritize here because he's not macroing because he's microing his outposts, but you gotta think what's more important is improving the efficiency of my outposts, or is doubling my army more important? And that's not quite an exaggeration. There's you know, probably about 20,000 worth.
Yeah, you can double it, yeah.
And he could actually double this army if you just, you know, got dozer, war factory, obviously getting supplies back up. And it doesn't matter how good your micro is. If your army is twice the size, then it's always better. It depends what it is, I suppose. Like Humvees and buggies don't quite scale 1-for-1, but things like outposts and Gatling tanks, the size is more important than the micro ability of it. So that was shot down, and we finally have MiGs, and these are the black napalm as well. So time is limited for these outposts to stay alive.
Gats, their main job now is sniping down ECMs to ensure. Or even the disables are going to work here if the MiGs actually come up for a strike machine. They're going to be coming in now. Some of the ECMs are still disabled.
Yep, there we go. Nice splits, but it works well if the Gats follow up when the outposts split up, because they don't trade very effectively. It needs to be building some tank hunters from the barracks.
So I think Rawr's going to lose this engagement now. He loses the arm, but he's still got a 20k float.
Okay, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, he actually still has it. I don't think he's not even macroing at all. He just wants to end the game now. And I don't believe there's any hackers either, so there's probably more supplies in the bank than there is. Yeah, there is. Look, there's 7,000 supplies there. Rawr has 20,000 supplies in his stockpile, I guess we can call it, whatever we call it. And so he doesn't even need to mine supplies anymore, because he has the supplies already. Like, he's got that part done. We also could have seen Battle Masters and Overlords, because in 1.6 rocket damage does less damage versus tanks, 20%. So you actually can use those tanks more reliably against things like outposts. They're still not ideal, but when you have them mixed in, then they are a good idea.
And Overlord range relative to GAT is just a huge disparity.
Yeah, exactly.
Just have a huge range advantage. It makes it much harder to kite with the outposts.
Then you have Speaker Tower. Yeah, that's the main thing. The Speaker Tower. Have that mixed in. You can snipe ECMs pretty fast. You can snipe Overlords.
Now it seems as though Rawr's going to be crushed out of this game with a 18k float. My macro hand is getting itchy, machine. It's getting real itchy. His mine drops have been in really nice positions, however, so Rawr maybe can stay in this one. He's starting to spend his cash. That's nice. Another mine drop, again on point. Truck's going to be sniped down. Little does CI know that trucks aren't the important thing to be sniping right now.
Yeah. Should be just a matter of time until we have another round of General's powers to close this game out. Seal can trade very efficiently just with MiGs. There's actually still middle supplies as well that they can mine from.
Yeah, long distance mining those ones. Gonna have an arty strike coming in here now as well. That's going to be going down to the supply.
Oh, there's still an oil in the corner as well.
Yeah.
No one gone for the tech repair bay. Feels bad, man. I would cap that.
That's one on the map. Yeah, I'm sure you would,
cap that.
Machine. You're a nice guy. You cap tech repair base.
Soul Troop Crawler. Whoa. One v5. That was impressive. Okay, actually a lot of damage on the Gatlings. That's what it's for, the anti-air, of course, but you can't exactly have the assault troop crawler in the front. Well, you want to have those miniguns on the ground.
Yeah. On the ground and split. Or even better, I tend to mix up. Once I get an assault troop crawler, I evac most of the minigunners and put a few rocket troops inside. Rocket troops will still fire out of an assault troop crawler.
Yeah, so you can chase the MiGs down as they fly back.
Yeah. And you're less vulnerable to losing all of your minigunners in a single MiG strike as well if you're late on the evac.
You can even bait it too. You put one minigunner in the assault troop crawler and they go for it and they kill essentially nothing.
The spies aren't important, CI. Rawr has lots of them. Down to 11k float though, that's better. It's considerably better.
GG.
GG.
Well, that was a shame.
Yeah.
We didn't know that it was actually going to be this kind of noob game, but I think it was still an interesting game. Look at that, supplies collected double.
Good macro from CI though.
Yeah, he played well.
Yeah.
He certainly. I mean, I think his only build Gatlings wasn't the best strategy, but it doesn't really matter because he spent his cash. Like that's the main thing. Build whatever you want, man. So long as you're spending your cash, that's okay. As long as it's not sentry drones or something super bad. It is a numbers game overall. When you have double the supplies, then that's all you need really. But earlier MiGs especially would have closed the game out. I mean Overlords are good, but like they're immobile, which is the problem. They're slow, but they're good defensively. Even when you have that much cash, you can go for the nuclear upgrades to get the extra movement speed if you want to get extra fancy and you have so much cash to burn. But yeah, just MiGs, multiple airfields. Either way, nice game. Better luck with your macro Rawr. We wish you well, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.